Nobody stories is of the fly river in southern Kenya, a large island in Australia.
But yeah, that's Max.
Let's see.
What's his name?
It's kind of tough. I was doing something
Oh, his tail is bigger than you are.
towards you, or if you're the guy always doing something crocodiles don't like. So I don't know which I like being. Today, Maximo and Sydney lived together in the very same display that was first built for Goma.
The enclosure that these animals are in is really ideal for
What we didn't know was how long it would take an animal from south of the equator to adjust to being in our season. And it turns out it only took her 1.5 years. So she skipped the following season for us.
You don't want the
and she bred that next spring.
Looks like he's running underwater.
Immediately after that, I think we have 8 up there.
This enclosure or any of our enclosures, don't be afraid to speak up and let one of us know. I'll see what I can do about getting at least some pieces of your item back for you, but I'm sure you can tell here there are some places I simply cannot go to retrieve an item. I do always consider my own safety first, so that means I never make any promises about a full recovery. Alright, now that we have safety out of the way, you might have also heard me mention that this is just a feeding demonstration. And the reason I say it that way is because there are 36 American alligators here in this one enclosure, and if I try to take the time to make sure every single one of them gets something to eat, we'd probably be here for a few hours. And we just don't have that kind of time. I know there's lots more interesting things for you to see here in the park, so I'm just going to demonstrate using a few of these alligators that are right here in front of me. But if it looks like somebody doesn't get a chance to eat right now, don't worry about them. There's plenty of other opportunities to get a good meal. So I'm sure you can tell too by looking at all of our alligators out here that they're all pretty well taken care of, if you know what I'm talking about. Okay, I have 2 separate food items that I'm going to be offering to them. The first one that I brought along is actually the main diet for all of our crocodilians, including the alligators, crocodiles, caiman, imperial, all of those different groups that we had mentioned in our previous show. So all the crocodilians get this dry little biscuit right here. And these are literally called croc pellets because it's a food designed specifically for these animals. Now it's made by a feed company that makes all kinds of exotic animal foods called Missouri. Now Missouri is actually a part of another famous feed company that I'm sure we've all heard of before, Purina. So they got together with some crocodilian biologists, some veterinarians, even some staff members from here at the alligator farm, all trying to determine what these animals need in their diets in order to live those long, happy, healthy lives that we expect out of zoo animals. So once they found all of those key nutrients, they put it right here. Well, it turns out it's also rather unhealthy. So when it comes to whole food items, there's a lot of different things that I can offer to them. But when it comes to this feeding demonstration, I do have a personal favorite whole food item, and I've brought them along with me today. I've got some nice, juicy rats. Yum, right? No, I know. It's a little gross to be feeding out rodents like this, but again, it is very natural, and it's very healthy for the alligators to get a whole food item, mostly because it is just that. This is the whole food. Whenever they eat this, not only are they getting meat, but they're also getting fur and bones and guts and all of that good stuff that comes in one package in this whole food item that kind of resembles their wild diet. So while I'm trying to get somebody interested in jumping up for this, I'm going to give you guys some history about the park first, because St. Augustine is all about history, right? Well, the alligator farm has been here for over 100, which brought us over to where we are today. Now in 1937, we were purchased by the Drysdale family, and they took us from a park that had just American alligators to the awesome zoological park you get to see today that has all 24 species of crocodilians and other exotic birds, mammals, and reptiles. But let's get back to the reptiles that we have right here in front of us for the most part, these American alligators. So they are what we call generalist carnivores, which means they will generally eat any kind of meat that they can find. but they're also what we refer to as opportunistic carnivores, which means they don't always know when their next meal will be. So they take any opportunity to grab whatever may be available, which can sometimes include something small, like an insect floating on the surface of the water, a lizard, or even a snail. Now, I know that might sound kind of strange to you large carnivores like this out there in the wild surviving off just snails and lizards, but some of them do actually have enough fat storage on their body so that if they absolutely had to, they can survive an entire year off just 80 to 90 pounds of food. That might sound like a lot if you think about that as one meal, but stretched out over the course of an entire year, 80 to 90 pounds of food is like you or I eating just one sandwich a week and being perfectly satisfied with that small amount. So one reason why they're able to go so long with just a little bit of food is because they are reptiles. They're cold-blooded reptiles, which means they're not constantly burning calories in their body just to stay warm like us mammals. No, if an alligator wants to warm up, all they have to do is lay out in the sun and bask like most reptiles do. So because they're not using those calories all the time, they don't have to be eating all of the time to replace them. That means they don't eat nearly as much or as often as people think that they do. In fact, some of our largest alligators and crocodiles here in the park eat just once a week. And that is perfectly natural, even recommended for a reptile that size. But I do have some very large alligators out here in front of me. Two of them, in fact, are over 13 feet long. And I'm sure you can imagine once you get to be that large of a predator, well, you have your pick of basically any prey item that gets too close to the water's edge. An alligator like this can even take down something that's the size of an adult deer. But there's just a few problems for these alligators if they get a hold of a large prey item. One problem is that alligators don't really chew their food. Their jaws only move up and down this way, where chewing usually requires more of a side-to-side grinding action. Plus, inside the mouth of an alligator, there are anywhere from 60 to 80 conical-shaped teeth. So because those teeth are all shaped the same, that means they're only designed to puncture and hold on to that prey item. They don't have any teeth for shredding, no teeth for tearing, no ability to chew that food. So if they get a hold of something big like a deer, they need to work how they're going to get a smaller piece off of it. And that's where that famous death roll that we've all heard of before comes into action. But despite its name, it's not actually how they kill their prey. It's more how they dismember it. They take these powerful jaws and they clamp down with 2,000 to 3,000 pounds of pressure. Then they spin their entire body around until a smaller piece rips off of it. So it might sound kind of brutal calling it death roll, but I guess you can just think of it as an alligator's version of a knife and a fork. Well, I have just one last rodent here. I'm going to see if maybe I can get my friend Goose here to jump up for it. Come on, Goose. So you might hear us calling out alligator names. These are their actual names. We can get them to respond to them. Come on, Goose. Come on up. Oh, this little girl wants to take it. Who's that, Snaggletooth? Come on, Snaggletooth. Come on, little girl. Another way that I'm able to tell that this one in front of me is a girl is her size. She is a lot smaller than the others, and that is, again, not necessarily because she's younger, but she is smaller because she's a female. All right, so that was my last rodent. I'm just going to toss out the rest of my pellets now. After the pellets, if you have any questions for me, feel free to come on over to the feed platform here. Again, my name is Amy. I would love to meet you and answer any of those questions that you may have. If not, I do have another presentation at 1 o'clock in the theater. It's the Scales and Tails Reptile Show. So if you're into reptiles, meet me in the theater at 1 o'clock. I'm going to have a few friends to introduce to you. Thank you all so much for coming out, and I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye, folks. Thank you.
Okay, so here are officers. We are... so cool.
Oh, look at the birds up there, Dylan.
It's spun on the alligators.
Huh?
It's spun on the alligators.
I know, right?
How are we doing?
Huh?
Look at the little baby over there. Right over there.
Yeah, there's one there too.
Oh yeah, huh? Hey, little guy.
Did you guys check in at the alligator farm?
I did.
I didn't.
That's where I put on there where you don't have to be the fastest, but not the slowest. That's right.
Come on, Talon. You gotta take care of me, man. You're a wife.
Oh, wait. You want to go to the theater at 1 o'clock and see what she says?
Where are you going, man? Where'd he go? I'll drink it, one of the two.
Says there's an endangered species. I'll say there is. I don't see it.
Alligator or crocodile?
did we see him? Oh, look, a zebra. Where did we see that? Where did we see that, Jackie? Not a dead zebra. But where do we see that? At the zoo. She's cleaning the feathers. Come on.
Okay, come on guys, it's 12:30. You put my keys? Yeah, we gotta make a move on it. Come on.
Daniel Barker, come on. And you put, I don't know. When we say it's time to go.
One time there was a sheep.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Oh my